Hi, Kevin Letts here, the pastor of Trinity at Badger Ranch. And I want to thank you again for joining me for one of my Monday recap videos of the sermon I preached yesterday. I began talking yesterday about the word promises and just how important they are. There are different kinds of promises, like maybe just like a little pinky swear or things that are written in stone that cannot be changed, whatever the case might be. So we understand what promises are. We make them, others make them. We hope most people are able to keep their promises. Sometimes, for whatever reason, promises aren't kept. But then I started talking about what the day was, and I said, Happy New Year. Because yesterday was the first Sunday in Advent. Advent is the first season of the church year, so yesterday was the first day of a brand new church year. Talked about things along the line that I knew it wasn't January 1. Instead, it was 12/1, but it's still a brand new church year. And so with that new church year, we're going to kind of repeat a lot of things. Everything we looked at in the past that are so important. The birth of Christ, the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Yes, we talk about them every year. They are worthy of repeating because it's good for us to be reminded why we are the people of God. It's because of what Christ has done for us. The faith we've been blessed to receive isn't what he has accomplished through his coming into our world with our flesh and blood, and then suffering alongside of us in this world, and then truly suffering before his death, and then, of course, the cross, the Good Friday event that we say is one of the two most important events in history, the other one being his resurrection. So yes, we're going to talk about them again this year because those are worth repeating, worth reminding ourselves. And like Martin Luther said, we need to hear the gospel every day because we forget it every day. So we talked about Happy New Year, brand new church year. And I talked about the text from Jeremiah, Old Testament 33, which reads, "The Lord said, I will fulfill the good promise I made to the people of Israel and Judah. I will make a righteous branch sprout from David's line. He will do what is just and right in the land." Old Testament stuff, promise stuff again. God made a promise at the very beginning to Adam and Eve that he will send someone to the world to fix kind of what they broke when they gave in to temptation. And he kind of renewed that promise again and again and again. And here in Jeremiah, he said, I will fulfill a good promise I made to the people of Israel and Judah, because he keeps renewing that initial promise to his people at various times. So we give thanks that God kept his promise. I'll make a righteous branch, and of course that's Jesus Christ, sprout from David's line, and we know that he was of David's line. That's why he was born in Bethlehem of the line of David. He will do what is just and right in the land. Of course he would. That's what the Messiah was all about. He would follow his Father's will, and he would be faithful to his Father, carrying out what his Father desired for him to carry out, not joyfully, certainly, but for the redemption aspect of life, his death, his suffering, his sacrifice. That was the Father's will, and that's why Jesus came into the world. And again, we begin that again this season of Advent. We also talked about that word righteous there is in the Jeremiah reading you just heard. It's also in Romans chapter 1, verse 17. In the gospel, a righteousness from God is revealed, a righteousness that is by faith from first to last, just as it is written, the righteous will live by faith. And that's us. We can't claim any kind of self-righteousness or self-proclaimed goodness or holiness. We're declared all those things. We are declared righteous. We're declared holy. We're declared saints because of the faith we have in God and Christ. And because of that, we can say that we are what God wants us to be. On our own, yes, we struggle with sin. Constantly, temptations are always before us. But because we believe what Jesus has done for us, as we begin this brand new church year, moving forward, we look forward to remembering it again, but also know as we enter this year, we're already forgiven, we're already saved, our names are already written in the book of life. So it was a good Sunday to talk about what God has done for us overall throughout the ministry of Christ, and what we anticipate as this year begins, because we are blessed with the promises of God that he kept, because God is promise maker, promise keeper, promise fulfiller, and that's an incredible blessing. So God bless your day, God bless your week, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.